Road to Vostok is a project that's been quietly building momentum for years, created mostly by one developer with the help of a few contractors, and has recently hit over 500,000 wishlists on Steam alone. Now, we finally reached what's being called the final demo, the last major playable slice before early access release. Based on the comments from the developer, the trailer at the end of this year will reveal the actual release date, which suggests early access should land sometime in the first half of next year. So today I want to dig into my experience with this latest demo. I want to get a sense of what the game really feels like in its current state, and more importantly, whether this small slice communicates the larger vision of Road to Vostok it's aiming for. If you've touched the earlier demos, you already know where this game is coming from. Road to Vostok wears its influences openly, borrowing heavily from Escape from Tarkov and the Stalker Anomaly mod pack. And this is not a criticism. Both of these projects hit on something unique. A pacing that is deliberately slow, stressful, but ultimately rewarding. And systems that let you approach survival in different ways. That same DNA is all over Road to Vostok, especially in how it handles risk and reward through different zones. In some areas, dying just means losing the gear you carried in. Push deeper into the map and the stakes escalate, eventually reaching endgame areas where dying wipes your entire character and hideout. Some players feel that's too extreme, but it's also the kind of tension that makes these games actually matter. When your choices carry real weight, every step into danger feels earned. And of course there's pushback to that kind of design. When people hear about permadeath or full wipes, some players don't want to risk hours of progress. Others simply don't have the time or patience for it. The developer seems aware of this, and that's why Road to Vostok isn't locking itself into one hardcore vision. The plan is to include modular difficulty modes, letting players adjust the punishment so it isn't always a do or die experience. And beyond that, the roadmap includes a full software developer kit sometime after release. That means the community will have the freedom to reshape the game however they want, whether that's softening the mechanics or cranking them up to even higher. There's no timeline yet for those tools, but the message is clear. This game isn't being built just for one narrow audience. It's being built to scale across playstyles, which makes it far more promising in the long run. As of October 4th, the demo available on Steam is the Next Fest press preview. This is the build I played. The developer has already confirmed the second build coming October 13th. That will incorporate bug fixes and feedback, so things may shift slightly, but even in its current form, it's a big step up from the earlier versions. The most obvious upgrade is the scale. Maps are now roughly 4 times larger, and the mechanics are starting to expand too. Fishing has been added, which sounds small, but it actually changes the pacing, giving you moments of quiet and peace against the backdrops of a Finnish coastline. That said, the content here is still deliberately narrow. The demo gives you 3 zones designed to showcase the fundamentals, being that the starting area is where your hideout is. It has 1 trader and a small map for scavenging. Here you can gather loot, trade, store items. Dying in this zone only wipes what you're carrying, while your hideout stash remains safe. The trader currently only gives you basic fetch quests, but once dynamic events are added later, these NPCs are expected to offer more meaningful progression. And then there's the border zone. It's a checkpoint area that's more dangerous, featuring snipers, a patrolling helicopter, and landmines. It's designed to test your ability to push forward carefully. And then finally, there's an urban zone. This is the high stakes map, apartment blocks, tight corridors, and the looming threat that if you die here, you don't just lose your gear, your character and hideout are completely wiped. It's a brutal preview of the endgame loop. Together, these 3 maps strip Road to Vostok down to its skeleton. You can see how it works and why the system matters, even if a lot of the planned features aren't in the game yet. When the game eventually hits early access, this slice is going to expand dramatically. The plan is for 9 full maps, 4 traders, and multiple hideouts to manage your loot. That's when the structure should fully take shape, and we'll be able to see whether the sandbox and progression systems really mesh the way they're supposed to. And for me, that's the real appeal here. Road to Vostok isn't just aiming to copy Tarkov, it's trying to merge 2 design philosophies that usually don't overlap. On one hand, you've got the freedom of a sandbox where you're free to explore and play your way. On the other hand, you've got structured meta progression where decisions matter and reward feels earned. Most games manage one or the other. Sandboxes often feel shallow without progression. Progression-driven games, as great as they are, often feel too rigid to count as a sandbox. Road to Vostok is aiming to hit both at once. It's very ambitious and not many games have pulled it off well, but you can see the attempt here and that's what really makes it stand out. What does this final demo actually tell us though? It doesn't give a full picture, but it does give a clear sense of the direction of Road to Vostok. This is a tactical survival sandbox where risk and reward drive everything, and progression is meant to feel both punishing and rewarding at the same time. Whether Road to Vostok fully delivers on that promise is still an open question, but with this demo, the vision feels real. Not just another single-player Tarkov-like clone, but a game pushing towards something I see a lot of tactical shooters trying to push for these days and will likely become a norm as time goes on. That being said, balancing a sandbox with rewarding progression is a hard thing to pull off. Just look at Tarkov and the way it still pisses off its player base 9 years into being a beta, and that's why it feels as though it is appropriate to have a game like this come to early access so the developer can modify the game and consider community feedback. At the end of the day, Road to Vostok is a game I'm incredibly excited for, and it's something that's right up my alley, being that I love challenging progression in an open sandbox style game where you can play however you'd like to play. It caters to multiple play styles. If you guys want to check out this demo, again, you can download it free on Steam, and I do expect early access to drop for us sometime early next year. And if you like this video and you found it useful, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. It helps me out massively being the small channel that I am. Thank you very much for watching and have yourselves a very nice day.